Hey, Katrina here from Scrappy Horses. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy you're here. I am working on a little custom gift bag for a little bracelet that I made for the Path of Positivity challenge. Over at Path of Positivity, anything goes. But we do have an optional theme, and for the month of November, our optional theme is to make something that you would give unexpectedly. And this is a little gift that I gave unexpectedly to a student at school because she's been working so hard. So I made this little tiger bracelet and the little box that it goes in. So let's get down to making this box. I decided I wanted to actually make my own box. So you really can't see the box very well because it's white on top of this. So I'm going to pull in a black rectangle and place it underneath so you can see this just a little better. Now you can definitely see the box. So it's basically has a handle and it has 4 panels, and then this wraps around and gets glued underneath here. The bottom is made up of these pieces folded in, and then at my paper slicer, I just cut a rectangle that would fit the bottom and use that on the bottom. And I usually use cereal box for that. All right, let's design this little boxer bag. First, I want to share with you where my images are found. They are found over in Images. This little tiger is from Orange Brush Studio. And these little paw prints are from Close to My Heart Artistry. I started out with a rectangle that measures 3.5 inches by 2.3 inches. That's going to be half of the size of the box without the tabs. So let's move this aside. And let's move this aside. I'm going to bring this right up here to the top. Let's figure out how much we want to be the front panel and how much we want to be the side panel. If you're designing your own box, you can design this however you like. So just to make it a little bit easier, let's come into Shapes here in the left-hand panel. Let's pick up a score line. And we're going to make this go by clicking this little left-facing caret. We're going to bring this line in, and we're going to place it just wherever you want to place it. So I think let's place it about at the 2 1/4 mark. So what I want to do is select this line, come over, and let's put it in at 2.25. We know that this box measures 3.5 by 2.3. Let's make our score line also 2.3. We do that right here under size. And now it's going to fit in there perfectly. Right now I'm not going to attach it or anything like that. We're going to leave it just as is. Let's come down now and let's pick up this pentagon. Let's make this nice and big. So you can see here I have it exactly up in this left-hand corner. Now I'm going to bring this and slip it right up so that the widest part of that hexagon is meeting up with this bottom line. I'm going to stretch it now to the left, coming across. So I'll make the whole thing bigger. All right, and there we are. I'm going to right-click that piece. I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to make it a bit smaller. I'm going to fit it in this way. Okay. Again, I want to make sure that it's meeting up with this left edge and with that score line. Don't worry about these pink lines that are showing up. They are actually trying to position this with other things I have on my mat. they're not positioning with anything that matters up here right now. Now it is. You can see that pink line is now right on the score line, and that's exactly what I want to line up. Now I can see that this is sticking over a little bit, so it's just a tad bit too wide. So I'm going to squeeze that in just a little. And see, the pink line will show up there. Now I know it's exactly lined up there. If you're not sure how to use these pink lines, I have a video about that, and it'll show up right up here. So you can take a look at that video if you have any questions or you'd like to learn a little more about that. All right, so now I think we have this lined up pretty well, but you know what? Let's make sure. Let's take these two pieces. Let's come up here to align, and let's put align right. Let's click that. That should come in pretty close now. I'm going to take this. I'm going to combine, unite. I'm going to come up here, take these two pieces, click combine. I'm left clicking, combine, and unite. All right, there's our first panel done. Let's bring this down now. Let's line it up right at 4. This is another way you can keep things lined up. I'm going to come up here to position X. I'm going to type in a 4. Hit return on my keyboard, and now that is lined up with 4. I want to put a handle on my bag, so let's do that. Let's take this oval shape. Let's rotate it 90. So I'm just going to type a 9 in front of my 0. Hit return. Now I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to line it up. Again, I can see these pink lines. We've lined it up. I'm going to bring it over. I'm going to line it up with my score line there. Now I want to take this. I'm going to bump it up. I'm going to use the arrow on my keyboard to do this since I've already lined it up. I also could take this, right, and just line it up at 4. Typed in a 4, return, and now it's lined up exactly with this edge. Right, I'm going to go ahead now and take this, and I am going to offset. But I'm really not going to offset. I'm going to inset. I'm going to come up about 0.264. I want to leave it as a curve because this is curved. I'm going to click apply. Now I can make this handle wider if I want. Let's talk about that for a second. If I wanted this handle wider, I would make the inset deeper. All right, so let's pull this aside. Let's do that again. Come up to offset. If I move this further in, that makes my handle width wider. So let's come to 0.403. Apply. See how that's going to make it wider. Let's go with that for fun. Let's sweep over just those two pieces and let's slice those. Slice is down here on the right at the very bottom. I'm going to left click and it is sliced. Let's take away this middle portion and let's take these two pieces. Let's combine and again unite. Now we do have the one entire portion of our bag done. Let's go ahead, let's duplicate this. I'm going to swipe over the entire piece, right click, left click duplicate, move that over for a minute. I'm going to pick up this box and the score line. You know what? Let's just group that for a minute. And let's group this one also. That way they'll move together, okay? All right, I'm going to move this to 0, 0. Bring this up, move it to my 0. There we go. I'm just going to bring that in. That's a little too close. What I want to do is get these matched up so that they're actually touching one another. There we go. You can see that that pink line appeared there. There we go. I'm going to move him away. Move this away. There we go. Now we can use that pink line better. We need to ungroup those score lines again, because when we unite these pieces, our score lines are going to disappear. So we're going to ungroup. We're going to take these two pieces. So let's make this even bigger. Let's choose these two. Let's combine, unite, and beautiful. Matched very well. Now let's go ahead and let's send this to the back. There's our other score line right in place. Let's pick up a score line again. This one. Let's duplicate it. And let's just pick it up and slide it right into place here. All right. All we have left to do is add our hexagon to this side. Simple enough. Let's back off just a little bit here. Let's come over to shapes and grab one more. And it's not a hexagon, it's a pentagon. There we go. We're going to take it this time. We're going to rotate it 90. There we go. Now, I really should have gone 270. So I could correct that, or I can simply flip it. And we want to flip that on the horizontal. Now we bring this in. We're going to line it up here to this top. We're going to make it bigger because I want to keep that flap nice and wide there. Now I'll just bring it up a little bit here. And I want to try to match it up the best I can. Let's sweep over the two. Let's come to combine, unite. I like it. That looks pretty good. Next, we want to take some of this tab off. So I'm going to line it up on the 4 here. That'll be plenty of tab left to put in our rectangle at the base. I'm going to pull it across until it meets the edge at 0. Right? And I can see here that it still isn't at 0. So let's just put it at 0 just for safety. There we go. Now we can sweep across like so. And we can slice off those pieces. Let's pull those down, and they're gone. I'm going to take this, rotate it 90, this piece that I have left over. I'm going to pull this in, and let's slice that off also, part of that tab, because we don't need all that. Again, it's your box. You can leave in as much as you like or take away as much as you like. I like to make sure I leave enough tab that it nicely folds and goes underneath the other side. Here we go. We're going to go ahead and get rid of all of this. Let's bring in some more score lines now. So I'm going to left click, right click, left click, duplicate. Let's duplicate one more. Right click, left click, duplicate. And let's pull this one over. Place it in where you like it. So what I'm trying to line up is right at the bottom of this edge right here, along with the fold here. Remember, if you're just slightly off, you're probably going to want to deepen these score lines a little bit with a scoreboard. So you can change them slightly when you get there, and no one will be any of the ways there. It won't show. We're going to take this. We're going to rotate it 90. We're going to pull it over to the 0 line. So see, it says position 0. I'm going to position it up. Pull it across, and there it is. I like to position this line just slightly above where the cut line is on these V's. Let me show you. So I would go, yes, you can tell that it's just slightly above that. I think it just makes a little bit neater look. We also can go in and we can check and see if these are pretty centered, and I think they are. I think they look pretty good. Let's sweep over the whole thing. Let's group it. All right, group. We're going to change our bag color. Let's come to group, come to this little caret. Let's find the slice result here. Let's make it white. There we go. Because we are going to print and cut, and if we're going to print and cut, we want to make sure that this is white because it would have done it in gray otherwise. Let's go ahead and make this one our middle panel because it will have a fold here, and the little seam will not show. I'm just going to eyeball this for the middle. If you really don't want to eyeball that middle, here's another hint. Bring in a square. I'm going to center this within those dotted lines. I'm going to move it backward. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take these two pieces and I'm going to select them. So I've got this one selected. I'm going to hold my shift key, select paw prints pattern. I'm going to come over here to align. I'm going to align center. Now I'm going to choose this black piece. I'm going to pull it out, and now that should be centered. Okay, see how I did that? Now I'm going to hit my back button to put it back. I'm going to bring my little kitty in. All right, my little tiger. And I want him about this size. Let's move him to the front. I'm going to bring him in, stick him right here. Let's make him a little smaller. Now let's make this really simple again. Let's choose our baby tiger, hold our shift key for our paw prints and the square, and let's do this. Let's align them all center. Align, center. Let's come get our black square out. And there it is. Now, you're probably thinking, wow, that yellow is too much. You're right, it is. So let's come over, click that, click it over here in the right panel. Come over to this colored square that's kind of an orangey gold. And let's come to advanced. And let's just take it down a little bit. You can take it down as much as you want or as little as you want. Next, I'm going to come over and I'm going to group all the score lines. Okay, remember how this is all grouped? I'm going to ungroup it. I'm going to group my score lines. I'm going to do that by clicking the first one, holding shift, and choosing every score line. And now I'm going to hit group. I'm going to hide it. I'm going to sweep over everything here now, and I am going to hit flatten. Now I'm going to come back. I didn't accidentally flatten my score lines in because I don't want them to print, right? I'm going to come back now and I'm going to open my eye on that, move my bag to the back. My score lines are exactly where I had them. Sweep over, and I'm going to click attach. And now my bag is ready. If you decide, I really do want to cut a base for this, easy enough to cut it here in Cricut Design Space. You're just going to make it the same size, right, as this panel by the size of this panel. My size across is approximately 2.5, all right, 2.242. Let's just say 2.5 because you can always trim a little bit away. So I'm going to unlock this, 2.5. I'm going to rotate this 90. Now I'm going to bring it in and match it in this way. I have it unlocked so I can just push this across. And about 5.76, that'll be fine. Again, you can always trim some away. All right, so let's go ahead and lock that up. Let's rotate it back 90. So let's go back to 0. And you can see how that's going to work as your bottom. You can cut that out of paper, cardstock, whatever you want. Again, I always use cereal cardboard because I have lots of it, and I just cut it up my paper slicer. Hopefully that answers any questions about how to make this bag. Of course, if you do have any questions, leave them below. I'm more than happy to help. I also have several bag tutorials that you can find. I'll put some in the box below if you're not sure how to put this bag together, because they all pretty much go together the same way. So I will put a couple down there for you. You can click on those. Of course, you're always welcome to check out any of my videos. I would love it. Don't forget to check out the Path of Positivity Challenge. We'd love to see you there. Hey, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate your time. I hope that you got a few tips or tricks out of this. If you did, then click that like button. I'd appreciate that. Have a wonderful week, and I'll catch up with you in the next video. Bye.